Hello and welcome to another one of my senior moments. I live here in southern Oregon, and this year, of course, as we all know, has been a very unusual year, and one thing that's happened is we're still in a drought here in southern Oregon and can really see the effects of it. Just a few miles south of where I live is a reservoir called Emigrant Lake. It's actually a reservoir, a man-made reservoir, not a lake. And this year it's entirely dry. I'm going to flip this around so you can see. And what you're looking at is just the creek bed going through the reservoir. Here's the dam. It was built originally in 1914 and expanded in 1960. The reservoir impounds about 880 acres of water, and on a full year I'd be standing only 30 or 40 feet down to the water's edge, but as you see here it's completely dry. I'm going to drive up a little bit further to where the boat ramp is and see what's left, if anything is left, of the reservoir. Here's the two boat ramps that are part of Emigrant Lake, Emigrant Reservoir, and all that's left is just this little pond of, as I said, the reservoir is only 2% filled, so obviously there's no access to boats. Normally, this area that I'm standing on would be underwater when the reservoir is filled. You can see the water line here, right in next to me, where the water would normally be, and is just nothing but dirt right now. Emigrant Lake is, or Emigrant Reservoir as I like to call it, is actively used for recreation. You can see there's boats here for there actually is a rowing club, and the clubhouse is back there behind me, but obviously there's no water to row in, so that's not going to happen for quite a while. Here's a view from the dam of what the reservoir would look like if it's filled. The video I took in the previous clip, I was standing on the road to the left. I'm standing in the middle of Emigrant Lake right now, and normally, in a normal year in the spring, this would be entirely filled. Here's an archived picture of Emigrant Lake filled, but it's completely drained. You can see Emigrant Creek flowing through the willows, just hardly any water in it at all. But that's what was dammed. Emigrant Creek was dammed in 1924 to create the reservoir, and you still see the remnants of the highway. I believe that might be Highway 66 that was covered. Normally right here I'd be under probably 30 feet of water where I'm standing, and because it's so low, you see the old highway that comes right in front of me here, right down here, and extends to the south. The Highway 66 is just to the right of this photo right now where I'm parked. But the water to fill Emigrant Lake comes down from Hyatt Reservoir and Howard Prairie that are up there in the foothills a few ways, and there the water is drained out of those two reservoirs, and it generates electricity up at Green Springs, and then flows into here, and then it's released here for irrigation for agriculture in the lower Rogue River Valley. And Howard Prairie and Hyatt Reservoir are also almost empty. They're both about 5%, 5 to 7% filled. So if I was to drive up there, it'd look very similar to what you see here. And here's an aerial view of what Emigrant Lake looks like when it's full. So I live just south of the city of Ashland, right in this area here. And then just a few miles south of me is Emigrant Lake. And as you can see, it's kind of an upside down U shape. The water that gets into Emigrant Lake mostly comes down through Emigrant Creek, which through the natural stream bed and a series of channels starts out at Hyatt Reservoir and Howard Prairie Reservoir. So those are the primary storage areas for the water. It's released out and it goes downstream through a power plant, which I'm right there at the Green Springs. Actually, I'm wrong about that. It's down in this area somewhere here. Green Springs Power Plant. And then the water flows into Emigrant Lake, this eastern arm. And the dam is over here, and then it's released through Emigrant Creek and canals and flows through Ashland and up towards Medford, and is used primarily for agricultural water. Emigrant Lake, when it's full, sort of looks like what you see on the map, is about 880 acres. As it sits right now, I'm not sure how many acres it is, but it's just a little puddle, mostly up where you see the boat ramp area. So man-made reservoirs like Emigrant Lake are meant to be drawn down. They're used in here for agriculture in the valley. I've lived here for 4 years or so now, and it always gets drawn down, but this is by far the lowest it's been. That people that have lived here for 30 years have never seen it this low. So I guess the question that I have going forward is, will this fill up in 2021? It has a long ways to go. We're in mid-December and haven't had a lot of rain or snow yet. I'm thinking the reservoir is going to be extremely low come this spring, and I'm curious to see what the effect will be here in the valley on the residents and the farmers. So another challenge coming up in 2021. Anyhow, thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it.